the city lights to the country blue, Woody and Lew got the sports for you. From Boston streets to Kentucky's fields, get ready, folks, for the thrill it yields. Woody and Lew, sports and you, talking games, we love it's true. Every play, every score, let's dive in, it's time for more. Lacing up the boots and calling plays, debates and laughs for all the days. From Fenway Park to Derby Run, sports talk magic just begun. Woody Lew, sports and you, sideline stories coming through. Every cheer, heartbeat soar, tune in now, we'll give you more. Celtic screams to Wildcats roar, touchdowns, goals, and so much more. Grab a seat, enjoy the ride, Woody Lew right by your side.
The views expressed by the hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of Defense, the U.S. government, or any of its agencies. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by providing this information, and nothing herein should be relied upon as legal counsel. For legal advice specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney. Oh, I sprayed everywhere. Sorry. Happy Sunday night. Braxton, it's been a while since we've seen each other. What a start to episode 22, Woody Lew, Sports and You, Celebrate Veterans Day weekend. So before we get into the ticker topics, happy Veterans Day weekend, and special recognition to all of our current and former service members, especially the Mad Hatter himself, Mr. Chris Lewis.
Yeah, I didn't know not seeing me this long would have you spewing early like that, but here we are. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to the Mad Hatter. He's in bed sleeping right now, so he is celebrating accordingly before Tuesday. And you know what, Dan, thank you for your service, because for people like you, the continued service, you're not a veteran yet, but you will be one day, and you're really what keeps America safe tonight. I just want to tell you thank you.
And thank you to you, Braxton, for your service. I'm happy to serve. I know you are too.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, what a hot start to episode 22. I'm a little rattled right now. I guess.
Well, it's a good time to be, not a veteran's active duty service. I think we might get paid on the 15th, so that's exciting. We got some breaking news coming in that maybe the Senate and all that noise has worked itself out.
Are we breaking news of a approved budget on Woody Lew, Sports and You on this Sunday evening?
I think we've had some northeastern party lines getting crossed up in New Hampshire and Maine, and even Tim Horton Here's a Who Kane, I think, is on board. So I think we're good to go. Maybe we might get paid.
That's exciting. Yeah, record breaking government shutdown. What a world to live in 2025.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. I love it.
Well, Braxton, it's been a minute since we've gotten together over the podcast and YouTube streams, and you earlier this week sent me a text, have to record first topic, neighbor war. I have no idea what that is, so over to you.
Yeah, so we haven't talked ever since the last show. We had intentions, because I guess it's been 2 weeks, 2.5.
Yeah, I was gone the past 2 weekends. I had my golf trip in Pinehurst, and then I made a quick trip home for the Notre Dame Boston College football game.
Yeah, timing's just been off. I've came off paternity leave, and this company that I am attempting to lead. You know, it's when you have that going on as well as everything you have going on, and then it's hard. But we're trying to keep to a schedule, and honestly, we've gone longer than 2-week hiatuses, so we're showing that bad. But yeah, and we can talk more about what we've done in the meantime later. So, you know, my neighbors and I'm like they could probably hear me.
Yeah, you share a wall.
Yeah.
Did you not think about this when you sent the ticker topic? No.
No, I mean it has to be discussed. So
Just gonna lower your voice a little muffle.
Yeah, well, okay, so they decorate for the holidays, every holiday. And they transition from Halloween and they put up the very next day, November 1st, they put up their Thanksgiving decorations, which I've never seen Thanksgiving decorations. Typically, it's just a continuation of your fall decorations. They took it a step further, and they have probably a 10 or 12 foot turkey attacking Santa Claus blow up, and joining the turkey who's assaulting Saint Nick is a sign that says "Wait your turn," and it has Mariah Carey's face with an X.
Oh, that's an addition this year, because I remember you bringing up this obnoxious inflatable last year.
I think it's probably on episode 4 we talked about it.
Yeah.
So
it's a new addition.
You know, we had a lot going on this time. We still have a lot going on. I'm about to be in the field for 3 months. But anyway, Dan, so that comes up, and you know, I've been watching the Patriot today, and I've been telling Gigi about how cool it is that this group of just farmers and you know, worksmith said, we don't like this king telling us what to do. And then, you know, we have all kinds of examples of Americans just going against the fray. So I took it personally as a descendant of those people. Don't tell me when I can celebrate Jesus' birth. Like, don't tell me that. Because I grew up in a house where Christmas tree didn't go up until after Thanksgiving. So like, I'm on plane with what they're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
But don't outwardly tell me what I can do.
Okay.
So anyway, I declared war. I consulted Congress, as in my wife, and I got the green light. So we went.
So yeah, I think producer Kaylee is both the executive, legislative, and judicial branch in the.
He holds a lot of power. Not a lot of checks and balances. So I get the green light. We go to, you know, we had a 4-day this week, so we're off Monday and Tuesday, and Friday I get off work, and it's the first time I had a chance to breathe, and we went to Lowe's, and shoot, $250 later, had the lights, procured Friday night. Yesterday, Mom and Mad Hatter come down, and so I needed a ladder. Because I know I talk my garage, that gets hot.
You went to Lowe's and you got the lights, but not the ladder.
Well, Dad had a 6 foot. And
okay.
We put the 6 foot wasn't going to cut it. Went to Lowe's, had a killer 50% off on an 8 foot ladder.
Nice.
8 foot still wasn't really enough. So we ended up having to like back the bed of his truck up and put the ladder in the bed of the truck for me to get to the peak of my house. The best part is, it was 83 degrees yesterday. Like, it was hot. And so go back to Lowe's, spend another $100-something. We started on the garage side where it's the highest, and I'm in the back of this truck on an 8 foot ladder. My neighbor across the street has come over to see just what's happened. We got a party. And I had my JBL had a speaker playing.
Yeah.
Christmas hits.
Yep.
Well, Dan, I'm up there at the apex. Kaylee and my mom came out to see what's going on and all the danger that's going. Mariah Carey comes on the JBL. And just as Mariah Carey's just hitting her notes, out comes my neighbors. Kaylee and Mom immediately jet to go inside because they could not handle that situation. I handled it as anyone could. And I just kept working, and I didn't touch the speaker. Mariah kept singing, and they had friends over, so they were loading their car right next to where I'm doing this. So as they're like going through the chaos of trying to get 7 people in a vehicle, Mariah Carey's just blaring, and I'm in the bed of a truck. And then cue the rain, Dan. Rainstorm hits.
Oh my goodness.
Pouring rain, soaking wet. So anyway, do all the lights. Lights are up. It looks great. We could have a whole other argument of how I think people do their lights so gaudy and like how simple it was just to get the same type of light for the same house and make it not look ghetto. That's I don't get me started on people who mix white and rainbow light. You can't do that. But yeah, and I cut down half my tree. It was a whole thing, but we got them up. I was driving home from church today, and I saw my neighbor out walking, and we made eye contact, and I hit him with the, if you're listening on Spotify, I hit him with the wave.
Yep.
Nothing back, Dan.
Nothing back.
So I'm waiting for the counterattack. I think I have now found myself in a defensive posture, and I'm waiting for the counterattack.
Okay.
So that's where we're at on that front. But I mean, do you agree though? You can't tell someone when they can do something. That's the line, right?
Yeah. I mean I feel like when you put something that brash and rash and in your face up, you have to anticipate people like yourself hitting back.
Just so happens we share a wall.
That's the best part. That's so the fact that you're now worried about talking about it, realizing that you share probably a pretty thin wall in on base housing with just a Christmas hater.
I mean, like, okay, so that's the thing, right? If my whole family, I bet Patsy's probably watching. She was always like, once Thanksgiving was done, like either that evening or the next day, she would do Christmas tree and all that.
Sure.
So like, I'm not against that thought process, but I've never seen someone outwardly like command that I restrict myself to a calendar for when I can put up my Christmas lights.
Yeah, I said this last year, and I'll repeat it. I've never like Thanksgiving inflatables. Like that's the next level. I haven't really seen like Thanksgiving decorations other than like, I don't know, continuation of your pumpkins, your gourds, your like potpourri, maybe like some like turkeys in the lawn.
What I told Kaylee is, we went to Lowe's and I didn't see any Thanksgiving decorations at Lowe's.
So that's that was a custom order then from your neighbor.
But I saw a 20-foot abominable snowman.
Yeah.
So you tell me what America is doing. And I told Kaylee this. New York City and Disney both have Christmas lights up in the streets right now. So I'm on Disney's timeline. If Magic Kingdom's got lights, Daddy's got lights. I'm in fair territory, not foul at all.
Yeah, I'd say you're fair. And Miss Patsy is in the chat, and she a special thank you to everyone for their service, all veterans and active duty. So thank you, Miss Patsy. It's great to hear from you in the chat. And Braxton, I think it's very appropriate you mentioned Disney and also you spending, by my count, it was close to $350 at Lowe's this weekend. Let's get right into probably one of the hottest topics that had both of us going back and forth in our text, House and Mouse, and what they're doing to television.
Dude, this mouse has dental floss around my nuts, if I'm being honest.
What an image.
So, the thing about this guy is he's got all the leverage, and leverage is power. I've already spent more money than I have on all these Disney trips and the ones upcoming. And then, in recent years, the mouse has just procured the worldwide sports.
Yes.
To its fullest capability. So yeah, and you got to put context in it. And it obviously affects us as active duty and any federal worker this like right now. already going through the stress of the government shutdown. Don't know if we're getting paid. But you know what? Guess what? It's Friday. I might not be getting paid next week, but it's Friday and I got football coming. And to get hit with when YouTube TV and they came out with that they couldn't reach an agreement, and it's just like, we can't agree on anything. We can't agree on budget. We can't agree on getting sports to people on YouTube TV. I had to text you because I didn't know what to do, because it took you an hour to teach me how to download my MX app, and then it took you another 3 hours to teach me how to use the rewards that I'm paying for. And I knew that I had a $25 digital credit. I knew that in theory that was working.
Mm-hmm.
But the thought process of changing because then so the decision point was, what do you do about sports? Because I wasn't prepared, and this is how stupid I am. I was like, I can't go Hulu TV because Disney owns that, and like that's giving them money. But I have to watch sports. But the thing with YouTube TV is I value the split screen.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, oh, you can do that ESPN app. It's not the same. The interface on YouTube TV has the best interface for TV watching.
I agree.
And I was like, well, I get $25 credit. I'll just add the ESPN Unlimited. That stressed me out. Those 30 minutes.
I know you were in a
and it was one of those 30
when
minutes.
You texted me. I was like, Brax, I need an hour. I'm still at work. I'll walk you through this, and you couldn't even wait. It was 15 minutes.
It was one of those things where, like, Kaylee wanted me to do anything but worry about that at that moment. But I was so locked into it that like I had to figure it out. And I was super stressed that I wouldn't get the $25 credit and all of that. We figured it out. So now what?
Were you crunched to I forget what time it was, but there wasn't a game kicking. Oh, there was no crunch. No, you were
no crunch, but I was stressed out. And
you wanted the safety blanket of knowing you had college football.
I needed the answer right then.
Okay.
But it had good effects though, because as part of my upgrade plan, I had Hulu with the ads, and now I have Hulu no ads, so we're able to watch Special Forces without ads. That's pretty exciting.
That's nice.
But yeah, dude, I'd love to hear your opinion, but it's just another example of like Disney has all the leverage, and I don't know what you really do because they own Hulu TV, which is like YouTube TV's biggest competitor. I don't know how much skin in the game like Sling has, but I feel like there's a yearning for cable back or just OG TV, and I don't know if I think it might be too far gone.
So I'm not surprised because this happens a lot, and I remember I had DirecTV at one point. It was like included the building I lived in Chicago, and they come to like impasses with various it was Viacom, so Viacom has like CBS, MTV, Spike back then, and
Great.
You see like Spike was awesome. And you see like in commercial breaks, it's like this like Viacom has not come to agreements with DirecTV. If you don't want to lose like MTV, Spike, like you need to tell Viacom, and same thing with like YouTube TV. But this one has now lasted probably the longest of any of those like contract disputes. Like maybe you lose your channels for like 2 to 3 days, then they get together. But it seems like with ESPN, like ESPN Unlimited, their new streaming package, they want to move everyone to that, or Hulu plus live TV.
That's the clear play. We're gonna choke you out until we reach. And I'm sure up in the big market, like the boardroom types, like they have a threshold of like we need X amount of ESPN Unlimited upgrades and X amount of Hulu TV installments, and then because now I'm such a sucker. I'm not gonna let their political business stuff get in the way of me watching sports. So I'm a pawn.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know what you're doing, but like I feel like I'm in the worst position because I'm still paying for YouTube TV.
Yep.
And I'm paying for the ESPN Unlimited. Now they did just say they're gonna give the $20 credit, I think, for YouTube TV, but like it's just unfortunate, man, because here's the thing, and like it's just such a first world problem. I understand that. But like just on Saturday, I gotta go to YouTube TV to see what's on, CBS, Fox, But then I got to go to the Disney Plus app to ESPN to see what's on there. And it's just a whole thing. And then the ESPN app doesn't, it just kind of sucks. Like I
Yeah.
just don't like it. Like I was watching Kentucky Florida last night, and I think Kentucky Florida was on SEC Network, but the Auburn Vandy game went long in overtime. So you could watch it on the app on SEC Network Plus. But SEC Network Plus, which is what I watched the broadcast on, it didn't like have the, it wasn't the real broadcast. Like you didn't have like the, hey, we're going to Darinoka for the halftime
Mm-hmm.
update. Like we watched the band play the Army song at halftime. Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't the real broadcast. And here's the other thing. I don't know if you experienced this yet. TV, you clearly have commercials. On the ESPN app, you can find yourself trying to flip to a game and they get hit with a 2 minute, 2.5 minute ad.
Ugh.
And it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So
It is super disappointing because I got YouTube TV, I feel like fairly early on, and that having the full like ESPN, ESPNU, SEC, ACC, it was awesome and so user friendly, like unlimited DVR, and like you said, like they're like pick your own multi-view. I remember we were in Poland and the multi-view became a thing for the college basketball tournament,
it
and
was
they just
awesome.
do it so well.
What when I logged when I know when I signed up for YouTube TV, it was like $42 a month,
Yep.
and that's already gone up 100%. I think it's around 80 now.
Yeah. And I got my parents onto it too. That was a huge win because they have like the house I grew up in, and then their kind of their vacation home on Cape Cod. So they were paying for like Comcast at both locations. So their
Oh,
like
you understand?
monthly like cable internet bill was like upwards of like $350. So getting them onto YouTube TV, it was a game changer. And being able to like, like DVR like saved like one location, watch the other location. So
Yep.
I got this similar to when you texted me. Dan, my dad. So I love my father, but when we're like I went to the game with him last weekend, like BC Notre Dame, we had a blast, but we're just not like he's of an older generation, not big on texting, and like we're on the phone, at least with him, it's very much like to the point. Like why are we talking right now?
Why am I putting effort into this conversation?
That's he's old school, he's almost 70, old school guy. So I know like when he called me, I knew exactly what he was calling about. Because I've gotten calls like that like, oh, I'll never forget. I was at like a barbecue over the summer and they were down the Cape, and we shared like a Netflix account for a while, and my parents they have to watch their like British TV shows. God forbid they can't do that. And I either change my password or like the credential on the Roku like expired, and he like forgot the password and he calls me. I didn't answer it. He calls me again. So I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, like my grandmother died. Like, why does he keep calling me? No, he needed the password for Netflix.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
oh, good.
you're wicked smart with this stuff, so you should. No,
Well, yeah.
Netflix password is
So I
minuscule,
knew
but
I knew what he was calling me about. So I'm like, all right, I'm coming home on Saturday. I'll be home Saturday morning. We'll figure this out. Because the biggest thing for them, at least in the moment, was the local ABC. That's like their local news channel,
news channel.
like News Center 5. So I was able to get them up on it's what's it called? It's like all local. It's like a Roku app, and that at least
Yeah.
gets you can stream the local news station. So I got them set up on that, and then he wasn't too concerned about football because we were going to the game um at BC. But now a week later, still haven't, the House of Mouse has not agreed with Google. So we got to figure out what we're doing. And this forced me to also do like an audit of uh there's a good comment in the chat. I'll get to that in a second, Miss Amy Lewis. Uh but an audit of like what I actually watch. And there's a lot on YouTube TV. And this is different for you. You got kids. Like they have like, the Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, like all of that stuff. Me, for the most part, it's just the sports. I realized that I was watching them like the local news station, then your CNN, Fox. So what I think I'm gonna do, Braxton, is I'm gonna get an HD antenna so I can get like over the air free TV. So like your local NBC, CBS, Fox, CW, PBS. I'm gonna get one for my parents as well, and then I think I'm gonna do the Fox One ESPN bundle. Right
But
now
yeah,
it's for $39.99 a month, no free ads.
okay, hold on. God, this stresses me out. So, yes, if you audited what I'm spending versus what I'm getting, I'm paying $80 to YouTube TV just for Fox, the Fox family. So, Fox for NFL, Fox
Yep.
News, whatever, and NBC. I could cut that out by getting the Fox One bundle, which I was going to bring up, but then you just stressed me out because my ESPN Unlimited bundle right now is running me $40. So how do I add the Fox for no ad?
Sorry. So the no free ads we're not Woody Lou Sports and You doesn't give free ads for
No, we don't.
products that we don't get like paid for. But with that said, there is currently an ESPN Unlimited Fox One bundle for $39.99 a month.
I didn't get offered that when I was doing the upgrade.
If you've taken a tactical pause like I asked you to,
But I'm paying
Braxton,
I'm paying $39.99. I'm not getting Fox. So how do I get Fox? Why has it got to be so hard?
that's you. Why is it gonna be so
But they
hard?
didn't say nothing about Fox for the same price.
So
or I
you
would have gotten
might
that.
So if you go to the Fox One like online and you're paying for it through ESPN, there's like an option. If you press on it, it's like activate through ESPN.
Do I still get my credit?
I think so. Like your Amex credit,
I'm never gonna get that credit, dude.
you're still paying that off daily.
You should see me when I try to like look at hotels on there. Like I read the agreement 20 times to make sure like I get the hotel credit, and I'm like, what are the details? Like I'll refresh 20 times to make sure it's like included in the final checkout. I'm an idiot. What's the chat saying?
So chat, yeah. So we got Miss Amy Lewis in the chat. She's asking, can I get a good rate on the Cape House for a week? The answer is absolutely yes. My parents, they do rent it out in the summer for certain weeks. So if you're interested, we can get you into Dennis, Massachusetts, beautiful Cape Cod. And then she also said that my parents will love an antenna. Apparently, your parents have one in Charleston, and they love it.
I'm so stressed about TV. Well, I can't. And it goes back to the whole cable thing. Like someone's gonna make a comeback, or you're gonna start seeing dish satellites back in every house.
I'm curious, yeah, if it goes like to satellite TV. What I think, like, and so the question that you pose is like, what do we do in 5 years? I feel like there's got to be some sort of, I don't know, like a box or a service that like combines all of your what you pay for streaming. So like your HBO Maxes, your Disney Pluses,
It's an
and then it makes
interface.
it like you can flip through it
It's that's the thing, Dan. It's the interface. I don't
yeah.
want to have to cancel out of apps and reopen another app. It should be a one-stop shop. I can watch Curb Your Enthusiasm from HBO
hmm
Max and then flip down one and watch How I Met Your Mother on Netflix. Like it's the interface.
Yeah, and like how YouTube TV, like you can do your favorites at like the
I mean,
top.
if you break it down, like, and this is like gross, but if you broke it down, and I don't know, I mean, I guess the only like box I've ever paid for since I've been an adult for like TV is like when I had Xfinity
Yep.
Wi-Fi and Xfinity TV box. But outside of that, I mean, you're just doing streaming. I'm paying $80 for YouTube TV plus 40 for the Disney bundle. That's 120
Not to mention your internet.
plus plus 22 for Netflix, whatever Netflix is now, plus internet's 100 something. So I'm paying like $280,
Yeah, you're paying much
$260.
more than what you paid for when you had like Comcast.
Right. And for what?
Yeah. But I think that that's where we're trending towards. I have a Google, like a smart TV right now, and it has like if you scroll over on the top, like a live TV that has like your TV guide of
Yeah.
but it's like your I don't know what like your Roku channels, Pluto, like all put together. So it's not your premium TV that you pay for with the apps, if that makes sense.
2025, man.
Stresses you out, I know.
No, it gives me immense anxiety. Like it's just not good, dude. And what's gonna happen is they're gonna end up striking a deal, and then we're gonna get an alert saying, "Hey, YouTube TV is now $94.99 a month."
I'm
And then
paying
it's
it.
like,
I'm not paying it.
is that the line for you?
Like the COA I just put forward of doing the ESPN Fox One with HD antenna. For me, I think that is it'll get me what I want, and it'll save me money.
Right.
So that's my plan. But it's also funny too because not having ESPN, what I found myself doing was watching a lot more just regular YouTube on my TV. And I think this is
Yeah.
not a ticker topic, but it goes to what I've been watching. And I know we had a back and forth about this. And YouTube, like golf creators, I was watching the Internet Invitational by Barstool Sports and Bob Does Sports.
What are your thoughts on that?
So I know that
This would be a clear transition right here because I like to talk about.
Yeah, not a ticker topic. I forgot to put this on, but you had introduced me to the YouTube golf creators. You watched a lot of Bob Does Sports. We watched a lot of it in Poland, and I was always I was like, it kind of made me angry because like it's like these guys suck, and they're making millions of dollars just goofing around playing golf with their buddies at some of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. And then on the
Yeah.
flip side, you introduced me to some of the better like golf players who are like, yeah, they're good at golf, but it's like watching paint dry. Like I want to now hit a pitching wedge with a slight fade,
Right.
140 yards. Um, but I thought that the Internet Invitational with Barstool and their kind of brand of comedy, it was a great melting together of some very, very good golf players that are, kind of goobers into a fun, funny content.
I thought they cut the video. The videos are super long. I mean, it's like 3 hours an episode, and the 3 hour episode covers 18 holes. Which I mean, in theory, that's a golf round.
Right.
So, I thought they cut it very well. It's the best thing they've done. What was so? It was at Big Cedar Lodge, which me and Kaylee went to when I was at Fort Leonard Wood, where they had the draft.
Yep.
Like we ate and went to that bar at Top of the
That
Rock.
place is gorgeous.
Yeah. And so I've been there. It's beautiful. The amount of money at play. So it was $1 million. So the final team of 3 was going to win $333,000 a head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
plus
awesome.
Skins. It was like $1 million plus with like the skins.
That's what I'm saying. So like on day 2, you're playing $4,000 a whole skin matches. The money was staggering, and then kind of I feel like I'm reverting back to your stance. I'm watching it, and you clearly have the guys who used to be on the PGA Tour, who were like D1 golfers who are obviously good. But then you literally have guys out there.
Uh-oh. Braxton is frozen. Oh,
I'm frozen.
no, you're back. You're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. We have to go to
So
screen. That's good.
you have people out there who are like you and me who they could drive one, they could
Mhm.
slice one into the buffalo out there, but then on their second shot hit a solid 7-iron.
Yeah.
And but those people are playing for $1 million, and you and me are just playing not to hate our lives after it.
Right.
Right? And that one kid missed his tee time.
Yes, you did want to discuss this. That was,
How do
and
you
I
miss
didn't
a
know if it
tee
was a
time?
bit or, I mean, it was great entertainment because it was like Dave Portnoy he was so funny. He was just like, and there couldn't be a better like commissioner of like a tournament for something like that to happen.
Someone who knows nothing about golf and just
Right.
loves angst.
Angst, controversy. And then it was just he was paired with PFT, just like a regular guy, podcaster, hack, and
We're
like,
better than PFT at golf.
yep.
Like actually.
And then
It,
PFT had to play by himself against I mean single digit handicaps, probably. I forget who he was against.
well, it just shows you, and again, like thankful for where we're at in life, but you're already super rich and famous from posting YouTube videos of you playing golf. And now you're in this $1 million tournament with all these awesome people. Like you're staying in this beautiful cabin at top of the rock. And how do you miss a 9:30 tee time? I wouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
sleep. I would have been cleaning my clubs at 3 a.m. I would have been on the range before the people got there to give me golf balls.
And it wasn't even like that's when it started. Like his tea time was like even later. And he's like a
They're just sterile
33-year-old
to it.
man. I don't like how does that happen?
Dude, like just sterile to the success, and that's just like a level. And he ended up posting a video after. His name's Luke Kwan. He posted a YouTube video saying like, I'm sorry, I'm genuinely sorry, blah blah blah. But like, I need you guys to know that like, I don't really care about this whole YouTube golf thing.
That is that's what pays the bills, buddy. Like he's like I know he played like in an Asian tour event and like he's been on like probably what's the Corn Ferry? I forget the name of that tour. It used to be called the Hooters tour. Uh but he's definitely he's on tour, but like he's not making any money doing that. He's
No,
probably losing money traveling to events.
no, but it was a great event. I haven't been able to watch. I just don't have enough time to watch all of
No.
that. I thought the videos were edited, and I don't think it's going to have any impact to the PGA Tour. But as you see, the Live Tour now they're going to 72 holes in an attempt to. I think what the world ranking was kind of like their reasoning for that, but everything's reverting back. But I do think if they continue to put out quality videos, especially with huge purses like that, it's gonna have. It's not going to affect the PGA Tour, but it's going to. I would like to assume motivate the PGA Tour to like look through the lens of what are we doing wrong that we could improve to get some of those viewers who are exclusive to YouTube to come over and make our tour better. And I think Liv got it wrong with like it's not about playing music and the shorts and all that. It's just something. There's something else that needs to be done, and I don't know what it is, so it's not a good like recommendation. But like there's something about pace of play and like just kind of like I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
hopefully the PJ Tour kind of follows suit.
And at least for me, like this was the first time I'd really consumed like YouTube golf content. I've tried watching, I think it was on the Golf Channel. They did like the Creator Classic before some big like PGA tournament.
Yeah,
And it was like
same.
it was good golfers, but it was just like it was like standard golf. And I was like, I'd rather watch the pros. Whereas what Barstool and Bob Does Sports did, the format was great. I thoroughly
It's the
enjoyed the format.
access.
Yeah.
It's the access because remember when they had the match with like Tom Brady and Tiger and
Yep.
Phil, like it was the access of hearing them like talk smack to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's the access of knowing like what they're actually saying and like thinking about. I don't know. It's like one of those things where I hate in baseball when they do the segments where they'll have like someone in the field be mic'd up for the whole like inning, the whole half inning.
Mm-hmm.
That annoys me, but like in baseball, but I think in golf that might be a good model in a weird way.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just different.
Because baseball, yeah, the guys like he's got to be focused, paying attention. Whereas there's in between holes, like after a hole, like recapping it, like what you're gonna do next. Like in my opinion, there's nothing better than team golf, and I absolutely love team golf. And I think that's one thing the PGA Tour could do more of. There's only one
They should do the
team
Zurich,
golf
and I think
event
that's
at the
enough.
Zurich. They did start doing, which I love, is with the LPGA Tour. I'm blanking on the name of the tournament, but there's a co-ed team golf, which
Yeah.
I love, and they should add that to Olympics. Like for instance, in the Internet Invitational, like I love Kyle Berkshire, long drive champion, playing with Gabby Golf
Same
Girl. I thought that
tees.
was awesome.
On the same tees.
On the same tees.
Well, that's interesting because another YouTube golfer, Grant Horvat, is about to post. It hasn't been published yet, but he's doing a video. He's a scratch golfer, and they're trying to because people are starting to say now that like male scratch golfers could compete in the LPGA, and now they're doing a full match against each other from the same tees. He's playing up with her, so
That's
I'm
awesome.
interested to see how that comes out. And I would put my money on she beats him by 4 to 7 strokes.
Who is it? Gabby Golf Girl or someone else?
Nelly Corda.
Oh, Nelly Corda. Oh, I love Nelly Corda. Yeah, she's gonna beat him.
You'll watch that one.
She's a stick. Yeah. Is it on YouTube?
It's gonna be on YouTube. It hasn't been published yet.
Yeah. All right. I'm definitely gonna watch that. And then I'm on through episode 4. I don't think there's any spoilers, but the winner right now of the Internet Invitational, like not like winner, but who's probably getting the most value out of being on it is Chazzy, the dwarf golfer.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. How do I say this with some class? You can't sit here and tell me that golf's not the hardest sport to play when you have two able-bodied people like me and you who are complete hacks but are like athletic. Just in nature we're athletic, but in golf we're handicapped. And then on this Internet Invitational, you have a guy who is literally 3 feet tall, and you have a guy who's missing a whole arm with a prosthetic, and they would just destroy us.
Yes.
We're not within 15 strokes of these guys.
More than that. That.
Like they would absolutely smoke us.
Yes.
Golf's just, but that's also the beauty in golf. I love like the golf course that me and my dad play in North Charleston. On the weekends, they always have, I forgot what the acronym is, but it's like the people with disabilities like golf camp thing, and you be in a wheelchair or whatever your ailment is, and they have like they have machines or whatever, like mechanisms that help you like still play golf, and those guys would beat me by 10 at least. Like it's just, golf is hard. God, it's so hard. The Chazzy's awesson.
He's a machine. He does not miss fairways.
He only hits the ball straight.
Yep.
He hasn't even heard of a fade or a draw or a slice. It's just straight.
And doesn't miss fairways, and then just absolute darts on his approach shots. And he's lights out putting.
Yeah, we suck at golf, man.
So bad. I did win though. So we had 3 rounds, 3 18-hole rounds in Pinehurst. I was absolute trash rounds 2 and 3, but played to my index on round. Oh, sorry, I was terrible 1 and 2. Played to my index on round 3 to win for my team. So that was nice.
Congratulations, Daniel.
Absolute sandbagger, and everyone at Pinehurst knows it. Absolute bagger.
That's a bad place to be known for the wrong reasons.
Oh man, that was a fun aside.
I bet
not a
anyone
thicker
watching this
topic.
right now has no input because they don't know what we're talking about. But
Now, like how they talk about like, like this is an episode for the guests or for the guest or for the audience, for the you.
this is you.
This
a
is
show
episode
for me and
22
you.
is for me and you.
Me and you. We haven't talked in a while.
No, we haven't. And it's probably a contribution of these excellent beverages I'm having that are pretty high in alcohol content that I'm feeling fantastic right now, Braxton.
Well, I had some evening beers, and I decided 5:30 crept up on us, and I said, "Let's go to Zaxby's." I was craving Zaxby's for some reason. So Kaylee drives us to Zaxby's, and there was some riffraff at the Zaxby's.
Riff raff.
Yeah, there's some
What are we
riffraff.
talking?
There's some riffraff. Just
Okay.
it didn't seem like a suitable place for us to take our 3 young daughters. So we had to make a call on our feet, and I said, "Let's go to the Longhorn Steakhouse." Which
Ooh,
I've never been to this Longhorn Steakhouse in Hinesville.
I've been there a few times.
And I told Elliot, I said, "Daddy's taking you on a fancy date." I was like, "It's a fancy restaurant," so she just kept saying fancy restaurant. I'll tie that in a second. So we go. I ordered a Miller Lite that I would still be waiting on if I didn't say something 20 times. Service was absolutely terrible. We had one of those waiters. This is my favorite, Dan. I love when a waiter, they take your, this is a family of 4 people eating food, doesn't write a single thing down.
You hate that. I know you hate
And
that.
we briefed him on what we wanted. Doesn't write a single thing down, and then starts trying to back brief us on what we ordered and didn't get a single order right.
Oh, I can't imagine the look I know the exact look you had on your face when that was happening.
So we had to retell them. Everyone around us is getting bread. We've been there 30 minutes. Every table around us has gotten like complimentary bread.
Yes.
And I asked the guy, I said, "Hey guy, do I have to order the bread or does the bread just come to me?" And he said, "Oh, the bread's in the oven. We're about to take it out. We'll get you some bread."
You get some fresh bread. Nice.
Dan, people who sat down after us, right next to us, had already gotten their bread. And just so happens, as soon as I said that, I watched him walk in the back and about face with some bread. And guess what? Didn't burn my mouth on the bread.
Ooh.
So it must have had good time to cool off. I'll tell you this. The dinner, me and Kaylee both got like fillets.
Mm-hmm.
This is where, and this is going. This is just a whole show on the economy, really. I told Elliot this is a fancy restaurant. When growing up, going to Longhorn, that was a fancy restaurant.
Yes.
And this is the dying of the middle class, Dan. I don't know what political aisle this falls on, but I think the middle class is dead.
I'm apprehensive where you're going with this, Braxton.
Longhorn for the middle, like that should be a nice place to go. Like, we're not going to Ruth's Chris. We're not going necessarily to Chili's. We're not going to McDonald's. We're not going to Zaxby's. We're going to Longhorn.
I would say Longhorn is probably the premier restaurant in Hinesville.
It is by a long shot. But as far as chain restaurants go, like the Longhorn should be hey, we're not going to Jeff Ruby's, but we're going to get a solid meal. Yeah. Right? I'll never get that $100 back. And what's upsetting is like outside of you going to a premier, like legitimate, like super nice restaurant, or going to Chick-fil-A, the gap between Chick-fil-A and premier restaurant, everything in between, like you just aren't getting what you're paying for. And the prices don't reflect the service you're getting. So you're still paying a lot. Like $100 is $100. And they spend $100, and I can't get the guy to write down my freaking order, and he can't remember it, and I gotta wait 30 minutes for my bread, and I still ain't got that Miller Lite. It's just sad. It's sad.
Did you give a 20% tip?
I'll tell you what I tipped. It was not 20. It wasn't 18. It wasn't on the suggested on the receipt.
Yep.
That's the first time I told Kaylee this when I walked out. So that's the first time I think in my adult life I've ever tipped below 20%. Definitely the first time I've ever tipped below the recommended numbers. Because they give you the 3 recommendations below it.
That's all we have left as the consumer. 20% is standard. I remember growing up, it was 15, and I don't know when 20% became the standard, but I feel like when there's subpar service, which I've also gotten, not recently, but in the recent past, and I have no qualms going below 20% when it's not meeting standards.
Here's the thing. And I think I got a good sniffer for this, right? Because this is the time of year where usually you want to tip pretty generously because the holidays are coming.
Yep.
Right. I have a sniffer for someone's having a bad day or someone's trying really hard but just not quite hitting like my expectations. Tonight was a lack of effort. And the lack of effort. I told my company this, like, I'm cool working with a group of idiots who give 100% effort. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We can all be the stupidest people at our jobs but give 100% effort. I can fight with that.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like, dude, don't try to flex and not write down what we're ordering and then immediately brief it back to me and not get any of it right.
That's brutal. I know the exact look you gave. And
what I'm saying about the middle class being dead, this is what upsets me, Dan.
Okay.
Heinzville is the nicest restaurant where we live in Heinzville, right? So if you're someone who works your butt off every 2 weeks for a paycheck, and you want to take your family somewhere nice, that's like you like spending money that maybe you don't want to spend on food, but you want to take your family somewhere nice. In my opinion, you should be able to rely on that Longhorn to provide you that service. But they're not, and that's what upsets me. And I might run for mayor. I don't know. Like it really ticks me off. I shouldn't have had a doubt about my Longhorn experience being fine. Like me leaving okay.
They have a QR for ice comment. Should have left one.
The Yelp review I could give, man.
Those things move the needle. Sometimes the Yelp, the Google review. I know it's a pretty Karen move.
But you see what I'm saying though? It's like literally it's Chick-fil-A and then Michelin star. That's the nothing in between.
I think you're right.
Unless you find like a good local like Hardee's or Dairy Queen or something. That's about it.
I think you're right. No, it's disappointing for sure. We got some chatter in the chat. Miss Amy Lewis. She has a fair or foul that apparently you are aware of, Braxton.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up. I didn't forget.
Didn't forget. Now's as good a time as ever.
Well, I can't read the chat, so we'll see if I was right if she put it in there. Fair or foul.
She didn't put it in there. She just referenced fair or foul. Braxton knows.
Okay, another non-smooth transition. Fair or foul, Dan? Betting against your favorite team.
Well, I did it today, so I'm gonna go with fair.
I'll say this, Mom, because I know what she's talking about. So when Kentucky played Tennessee, was it Tennessee or is it Texas? Tennessee. And Kentucky, well, both lines were crazy. No, as I was. Hold on. When Kentucky played Tennessee, so that was not last week, the week before. The spread was like Tennessee 7.5, which was perceived free money. So a lot of Kentucky fans, aka KSR radio host, betted Tennessee money line or Tennessee spread rather. And then last week, the Kentucky spread against Auburn was like 10.5. Auburn. Now I made Daddy, I made some money last week on that. I bet Kentucky money line against Auburn. And that hit because I was in Florida. But Mom, I think if we can take a step back about who we're talking about who did it on KSR, not naming names. We all knew Tennessee was going to be Kentucky by more than 7.5. And also, I would also say betting against your team is a hedged bet because the feeling I get from a victory is probably honestly greater than making money because I value my team winning. So if it's between my team winning plus or we don't win but I make money to hedge it, like I would be hedging the happiness. I'm not hedging the money, I'm hedging the happiness. And I think the only way you can hedge your happiness would be by betting against your team. I would not proudly declare that I'm doing that though if I was in a national spotlight, aka reported on the team as my job. However,
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Braxton. Yeah, I wouldn't like advertise it. And if you were Kentucky Sports Radio, where your whole thing is Kentucky sports,
on the radio,
betting against Kentucky sports, uh, not wise. But again, like all press is good press, so I'm sure they got a lot of callers and traffic on that. But Miss Amy
it's
Lewis,
the duality.
she's in the chat and she has no all caps with more than 9 O's. Dan! Exclamation.
Well, Mom, I'll put it this way. I put my money where my mouth is. I bet Kentucky money line against Auburn because I thought we were going to win. If I would have been in Florida or Kentucky or a place that allows legal sports gambling when Tennessee was only a 7.5 point favorite, I also would have hammered that. But I would argue I'm just a good sports gambler. It's not about I don't know. But I typically stay away from. I don't bet it. Like I usually don't bet Kentucky games. The only reason I bet that Auburn game is because I genuinely, like gun to my head was like we're gonna win this game for some reason. I really felt it. But one thing I'll bet. Well, I'm weird though. I'll bet Kentucky football. I won't touch Kentucky basketball.
Yeah,
wouldn't touch it. You could say that we're playing. Kentucky could be playing an NAIA school, and the spread is Kentucky plus or Kentucky minus 2 points. I'm still not touching it. Scared to death. Couldn't do it.
and we'll get more into college basketball later on, but this is actually a decent segue into the next ticker topic. So hand up, I bet against the Patriots today. And the context of that was that I'm in a betting league with my college buddies where we pick one college, one pro game against the spread every week. And the scoring, it's a crazy Excel formula, but it's just you pick one college, one pro against the spread. And I have 2 betting partners in that. And we landed for our NFL game on the Buccaneers. It was minus 2.5 close at home against the Pats. And for me, like I've watched every Patriots game. I follow the Patriots closely on podcasts, newspaper, and I thought this was one of the games that they were probably going to lose. They're down Ramondre Stevenson, Booty, and they were traveling to Tampa Bay. Tampa is premier team in the NFC, and they Pats went in there and they shocked me and they handled business.
2 things. 2 things. Were you guys not on like a 6-game win streak?
Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I thought they're going to have a regression game.
2 things. Who's your head coach?
Mike Vrabel.
So Mike Vrabel is an old lover of mine, and the thing
we're going to get into that shortly.
I know, but the thing I can tell you about Mike Vrabel is he wins games when you are confident enough to put money that he won't win a game. That's the game he wins. That's just
you have
how
experience
it is.
With that.
Experience in that. I knew I didn't like this game at all, especially coming off the bye week for the Bucs. You got to think. The thing about a team like the Buccaneers are a vibe team.
Yeah.
They don't have any, like, all of their not all. The people who, like, are selling jerseys are mostly hurt outside of Baker. teams riddled with injuries, and they're a vibe team. Like they're a string. They run off vibes. Coming off a bye week, your vibe tank's usually pretty low. The score made it look like it was closer than it was. It wasn't a ball game.
Yeah, they had a late touchdown
that made it look like it was close. It wasn't close. The Patriots were a 14-point better team. The Vrabel Magic. I had some buddies from school went to the game. Marcus Jones, corner for your Patriots. He went to high school with me. He's a year younger than me.
Really?
Yeah, he's enterprise class of 16. Dang. So yeah, I mean, Buccaneers are still the best team in the NFC. I stand by that. I don't have Sunday Night Football on right now, but yeah, they lost. I listened to the last 6 minutes of it. I admittedly didn't listen to the whole game this week. I took another week. I'm on bye week from fantasy, and I needed a hard reset because my bye week in fantasy could have came at a better time because you're about to be 9-0, Dan. You don't got to check it.
I'm checking it right now.
So I kind of took my bye week from fantasy as a chance for me just to buy myself from NFL Sunday. Yeah, you're like me 9-0, and you know what's crazy?
In control.
What's crazy about that, Dan, is I don't know if you've seen the playoff predictions, but playoff predictors have you and me playing in the first round, which I can't wait for that week.
We still haven't played each other in regular season, and knowing you're going to get me when the Patriots are on bye and all my best players aren't playing.
I can tell you right now, if you told me who am I scared of playing in our fantasy league, it's not you. So I guess Curtis Lucas is who I'm scared to death to play. He has the best team in the league.
His team's good.
Anyway,
I still haven't played him yet.
I play him next week coming off a bye, so that's why I had to take because his team's average. When you're in a 13-man league and you have a guy who's averaging 140 a game, that's scary.
Yeah,
he's scary. And then Mason McGregor's team, who as the commissioner,
I just beat him today.
You didn't beat Mason McGregor.
No, I beat McFadden. You're right.
Yeah,
I beat Mason earlier this season.
Yeah, Mason got CeeDee Lamb now. I don't know why the commissioner approved that trade. It was a stupid approval by the commish. But he now has CeeDee Lamb. And if you look at his roster, every player except for his defensive kicker is projected 20 points a game.
It's pretty good.
But anyway,
well,
took a week
Braxton,
off.
Good segue, because we talked about your new girlfriend losing to the New England Patriots, but back to your ex, and she's a real bitch. The latest news that I read of the trade deadline. So the Patriots looking to make a move and acquire, support at the deadline, and looking at the Tennessee Titans. Some targets were Arden Key, Tony Pollard, and or Calvin Ridley, but Tennessee Titans owner Miss Amy Adams Strunk allegedly refused to do any business with the Patriots because of her beef with Mike Vrabel. Comments?
Yeah, I mean, every week I talk about this. Everyone knows how I feel about Amy, and that's why I kept saying about the head coach. They couldn't lure me back into their grasp with a head coach hire unless it was Gruden. But I know that wouldn't happen because Gruden's not going to coach for an owner like Amy. I think I said on the last episode about how when they came back right after they fired Brian Callahan and Vrabel and the Patriots came down to Nashville, Amy, people were reputable Nashville reporters saw Amy and Vrabel pass each other, and it kind of came off as if Mike was awaiting an interaction and Amy just nothing.
It's like you and your neighbor.
Yeah. And the issue with Amy, even back when Vrabel was here, she's a very by the coat. She just spur of the moment decisions. When it's time, when she makes a decision, she makes it quick and fast and pretty emotional. Mike Vrabel should have never gotten fired. He had
one bad year.
he had a bad year against the Titans, and he'd taken them places. And I think they were scared. And this is where it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't. They fired Mike Vrabel because they're perceived like they went to AFC Championship. They did all those things with Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry. That's going to go away because Tannehill's getting old and he's kind of hurt, and the Derrick Henry stuff, and he's on a contract year. We got Will Levis now, and we have a down year with a first-year quarterback after Tannehill gets hurt, and they think that that's the end of the road. But the same woman who wouldn't allow a trade of Derrick Henry in a year we weren't going to make the playoffs to the Ravens, who ended up signing him in free agency anyway, is the same woman who decided to fire Vrabel because he had one off year. And then now she's the same woman who wouldn't trade Derrick Henry to the Ravens when they wanted him in the trade deadline, is now refusing to trade Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley of the Tennessee Titans. Not Tony Pollard of the Cowboys, Tony Pollard of the in a rebuild year. Why are you not trading him, dude?
For draft picks. Like to build.
Why would you not trade him? And
Petty.
And here's the weird thing, which I don't understand. Vrabel didn't do anything to the Titans. Like there's no bad blood. He never said a wrong thing publicly. So Amy's the problem. She has to sell the team. Now if she sells the team, we could talk about maybe me like hitting a "you up" text to my ex, but until she sells the team, like I'm not willingly putting myself in that mother-in-law situation with the Tennessee Titans. Like I just refuse. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's poor form, man.
It's just like that's poor. It's like this poor stewardship. And I mean, I know like I've been very fortunate with the owners of Boston sports teams. I know that like John Henry has gotten a lot of guff, at least the past few years, but I mean, for the most part, like they're making the right business decisions to set the team up for success.
The NFL is a business. These players are pieces on a chessboard.
Yeah.
When you're an owner and GM, these are pieces on a chessboard that generate revenue. You generate the revenue by victories, exposure. It all trickles downhill, right? What does, in the scheme of things, you take the people out of it, right?
Yeah.
What does the Tennessee Titans trading players to the New England Patriots, how does that impact the Titans? It's not like they're offloading their star receiver and star running back to the Jaguars in a contention year.
Mm-hmm.
What do we care about the Patriots right now?
And that's what just tells me
Like,
she's a
what
bad
does it
business.
matter?
I mean, well, obviously she's a good businesswoman being able to, own and afford an NFL franchise, but she's a bad businesswoman by making it personal.
The Titans are in a weird place right now where and I think this is something we could talk about the wider scope of NFL. And the Titans are in this rut. And it's happened in a lot of places where you fire a head coach, you get a new head coach when you get the number 1 overall draft pick. Well, so I guess Callahan had a year, then they got the number 1 draft pick. But the Titans have found themselves in this cycle where they're going to fire coach, get new head coach, have a top 5 pick, give him a year, get number 1 pick, give him a year, fire. It's the cycle where there's no like room. I don't think Callahan was the guy, and it's kind of counterintuitive to the point I'm making, but they have to commit to a full rebuild, and they have to commit to generating draft capital for a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is when the Titans generate draft capital, and I'm not as looped in on Amy and Mike Bergonzi, the GM's relationship, but when you're generating draft capital, I think a lot of the successful NFL teams do this the right way. The bad ones who never have success, Cowboys, do it the wrong way. You get the draft capital for your coach. In my opinion, once you gain that draft capital, it's then on the head coach to how he spends it.
Yeah.
And that's what ultimately gives you leverage for making that decision to fire him or not. How can I fire a head coach when I have my hands on who the players that I'm giving him through free agency or draft? And that's the cycle the Titans are in. They're going to get this new stadium, Daniel. They're going to have this new stadium.
It looks
and
awesome.
They're going to have this new stadium with like 3 years of top 5 picks and nothing to show for it. Cam Ward's not Cam Ward. And this is the thing. I couldn't be an owner or a GM or Cam Ward's not the guy. We drafted him number 1 overall. He's not the guy. Get a new guy. Daniel Jones right now. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
A laundry list of quarterbacks who like way better than Cam Ward, who weren't good enough to be starters for whatever reason, who are now being given these new opportunities and are crushing it. Like,
what's his name up in Seattle? That's another example.
Sam Darnold. Like,
yep.
All those guys, and you look at them, you're like, hey, well, they're cheaper and better than this number 1 overall draft pick. So just take the loss and just get out. I could go on for days, dude. It just kills me.
I know that was intentional with that ticker topic was to get you going.
So stupid. So stupid.
I got you hook, line, and sinker. Let's move on to our bread and butter, college football and the playoff. Now the rankings are going to be shaken up by what happened yesterday. But Braxton, tell us about the college football playoff.
So if you look at the bracket that was published prior to the games yesterday, I think it's awesome how hard of a road they gave Ohio State. Ohio State had the toughest road. I think Ohio State, barring a loss, they're going to be clear number 1. I think Indiana, they survived a close one against Penn State. They're going to be clear number 2.
Yep.
I don't think the 3 and 4 are really solidified. I don't think 3 through 12 is going to be solidified until the week of. Texas A&M, I know what you're going to say. Texas A&M should be a pretty solid 3. I'm not going to be shocked if they drop one.
Let me see who they got left.
But I think this is going to be an upsetting playoff year.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be an upsetting playoff year for the SEC. Because one thing I can tell you with the SEC is if you're putting all your stock in Texas A&M and then an Alabama team who, though their record only has 1 loss to Florida State, who's not a good team, they're shaky. LSU had every chance to beat them yesterday. Georgia has a quarterback who has an identity crisis and a team who has an identity crisis. The same Georgia team that Florida was playing with them until the last 5 minutes of the game, who then goes to Lexington and gets beat by 31 to Kentucky. I think the SEC is in for a rude awakening. I think Frank Mendoza is still going to win the Heisman. I'm still all in on that. But I wouldn't be shocked to see like a Big Ten party come college football playoff closure.
I mean, Ohio State's the gold standard, and they're a juggernaut. I mean, Indiana had a close call yesterday at a very, very bad Penn State. But Indiana, Ohio State, they should meet in the Big Ten championship. That will be telling for Indiana. That's I mean, the best measuring stick.
And they both go undefeated though. They'll be 1-4 either way. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think so. I mean, what happens if Ohio State just blows the doors off? Probably still. They're a 1-loss Indiana in a conference championship game. They're still getting a bye.
Yeah, because I mean the only other options you'd have would be because BYU losing to Texas Tech shakes the Big 12 qualifier up. So if you have a 1-loss Indiana, Ohio State, they're going to be top 4. The undefeated one will be top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and assume Texas A&M does what they need to do. They'll be one of the top 4.
Yep, they're going to win out. I got
And
their
then
schedule up. They got South Carolina, Samford, and end at home against Texas. They're gonna win out.
so you'll have Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and then the third or the fourth one. Does the automatic qualifier for the Power Four, does that get you a top 4 seed, or does that just get you in?
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
not.
It's straight. So this year's different. It's straight ranking seeding.
So I guess
So if
presumably, what, Texas Tech or Ole Miss kind of about, or Texas Tech, Ole Miss for that 4th spot?
does Ole Miss benefit by not being like, are they rewarded for not being in the SEC title game? That's the question.
Who else would be in the SEC title game? It's not Ole Miss. How many losses do they have?
Ole Miss has what are let me pull up the
Alabama and Georgia both have
SEC
1 loss.
rankings. So right now it's Alabama and A&M are both 6-0 in conference. Ole Miss 5-1. So presumably,
I guess Alabama.
yeah, it's gonna be A&M and Alabama.
They don't do 2 Big Ten, 2 SEC for top 4 though. There's no way they let that happen.
I think they might. I mean, the next, BYU was presumably Texas Tech is going to jump a few
BYU.
spots, beating BYU, who was at 7.
Beat them by a lot.
Yeah, I could see Texas Tech moving to 5 this week, maybe in the top 4.
Just look at it, dude. Like Oregon was the 8 or 9 seed. They won by 2 against Iowa.
Yeah, they're 9.
It's just I'm just upset because I think every champion should be from the SEC, and I think Ohio State and Indiana clearly have a leg up on A&M and Alabama. If like the 2v2, I think Ohio State and Indiana is better, but I would love to be upset by that.
Yeah, I mean, who's Ohio State? Like, I mean, yeah, it was against Texas, that big win, and that's not looking. I mean, Texas has been playing better, but
they're still abysmal
yeah,
by Texas standard.
the ACC is just it's
Like,
pillow fight,
like
cannibalizing
Virginia's-
each other. Yeah, Virginia's in the driver's seat right now. Like they're in the playoff right now as a, the 4 conference champion.
Right.
But yeah, I had the ACC rankings pulled up. I mean, right now, I mean, it's going to be Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is in the driver's seat right now.
Was it Georgia Tech, Virginia, and then like Louisville just lost to Cal. Wake Forest lost to Florida State last week. I don't know if they won yesterday.
SMU is up there too. They're 5-1.
Yeah, SMU. Excuse me for not remembering that SMU is in the ACC.
But you're excused. But yeah, I mean, Virginia lost to Wake Forest last week, so they're out. Yeah, the ACC is just
Virginia loses to a Wake Forest team that Florida State blew out by 40.
That's right.
They then lost to Clemson yesterday.
That's right.
And then Louisville loses to Cal.
Yep.
Then North Carolina's on a 2-game win streak. ACC just
Chapel Bill, he's turning around.
The ACC needs to be abolished.
And then you have my Irish in at 10. They went out. They're squarely in the playoff. There's going to be a shakeup in the bracket, which is unfortunate because I loved their path in the initial November 4th bracket. So 10 seed playing in Provo at BYU. Winner of that plays Indiana. Beat them last year in the playoff. Not worried at all about Kurt Signetti. And then presumably they would play A&M rematch, neutral site. I mean, I know they lost at home. There's a bad hold on a snap. They've they've corrected those issues.
You're not scared of Kurt Signetti?
He doesn't worry me one bit.
That's crazy.
He needs a new haircut. He's got a terrible haircut.
Best coach in football.
Doesn't worry me one bit.
Okay. Sure.
It took a circus catch to beat an awful Penn State team.
You're right. Best catch I've ever seen. But you're right. It did take a circus catch. It needed to be on display at your local carny.
Yeah, I didn't know that the Ringling Brothers were coming through Happy Valley last week, but apparently so.
I cannot wait for y'all to play in the playoff.
Barnum and Bailey.
I might order an Indiana hoodie just for that week.
By the way, you still owe me a burnt orange. What did we say? PFG or Peter Millar?
So Kaylee brought that up. So we're doing Secret Santa for the family for Christmas, and there's this app called Giftful where you like make a wish list and you can like link stuff. And I'm not downloading that app. I told Kaylee I'm not doing it. But thankfully you can add a guest on your account so she can like make one for me. And so she was asking me what to put on there. I was like, just find like random like college and professional hoodies. Like I love a hoodie.
Uh-oh.
Like BYU hoodie or Orlando Magic hoodie. And she like paused and she was like, doesn't Dan owe you a BYU like hoodie or something?
Nope.
And I was like,
Nope.
Well, no, I think what it was is something about maybe if this happened, I need to get him a Texas PFG.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten.
I know you haven't. You got receipts up here. Maybe
I'm probably more than a schmedium these days.
You'll get a large.
That's okay.
Maybe that'll be your Merry Christmas from your co-host.
I love that.
This isn't a transition at all, but we're talking about football. I think you're wearing a Vanderbilt hat.
I'm wearing a Vanderbilt hat and a Patriots polo.
Oh, speaking of Indiana, real quick, when I was at Doak Campbell watching Florida State play, there was an Indiana fan in my row.
Huh.
Weird. Anyway.
He should have been banished like the Mad Hatter said. He should have been banished to the top row. Florida State wasn't playing Indiana.
I stared at him the whole time. Dude, I hope you won't go back and regret not watching Vanderbilt play at home more this season. And I was going to see, are you going to go watch Vanderbilt senior night when the Kentucky Wildcats ruined Diego Pavia's last collegiate game in his 8th year?
I did look up that game on Game Time. Is that next weekend?
Weekend after.
Is it that Thanksgiving weekend?
No, so this week we got Texas Tech or Tennessee Tech, and then we got Vandy.
14th. No, I think that is Thanksgiving weekend.
No, we play Louisville Thanksgiving weekend, Daniel.
Oh. Let me pull up the calendar. Okay, so next week is the 14th. Then the 22nd.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be around.
Are you gonna wear the Kentucky polo I gave you?
Yes.
What hat?
I'll probably wear a beanie.
Okay, so you're not gonna wear that hat you're wearing right now with the Kentucky polo.
It's a good hat, isn't it?
It is a nice hat. That's a nice hat.
I love my fit for that game. I had the long sleeve tee, this nice hat.
I spent $200 at the Florida State bookstore.
That makes me. I can't stand Florida State.
Dude, Renegade's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Renegade's cooler than the War Eagle at Auburn.
War Eagle's pretty sweet.
War Eagle was the coolest thing I'd seen until I saw Renegade.
Oh, Renegade.
Renegade doesn't poop, by the way. I kept a keen eye on Renegade to see if there's a poop detail. Horse doesn't poop.
Who do you think? My bet for like the most poop in college mascots is Ralphie, Colorado Buffalo. I bet it's just shit.
No, it's Bevo.
Really?
Oh yeah.
August.
Oh yeah.
August just dropping mines.
August Uga's too lazy to take a dump. Him and Smokey, dude. I'd shove Smokey up Uga's butt. Stupid dogs. A real dog is a Citadel Bulldog. That's a real dog.
Not a good game for the Citadel at Oxford.
They were just happy to be there, dude. Did you see them beat BMI? Came back from 28 down.
Did they?
Oh, yeah. Fourth quarter rally.
Well, not a smooth transition, but let's get into our last topic that you were also very passionate about, the return of college basketball.
Yeah, Kentucky's going to win number 9. That's why I'm wearing this hat. It's not for Chase Elliott. It's for number 9. Kentucky's great. We're the best team in basketball. We beat Purdue in the exhibition, and then we played Georgetown. I don't remember what happened in that. I don't think Georgetown definitely beat us, but we play Louisville on Tuesday. That's going to be a good game, Taylor. We've already had great matchups. You had Arkansas play Michigan State. Tom Izzo got the better of John Calipari up in East Lansing. You had North Carolina beat Kansas for the first time since 2002, which I thought was a crazy stat. I think Bill Self has finally entered the part of his career where he's just what he's doing is not getting it done. And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Bill Self have a John Calipari-esque exit where he either has a decision to hang it up or he finds himself at another, major program, but not at Kansas because he put a lot of his chips on the table for Hunter Dickinson. Both of those years didn't pan out. And the North Carolina game wasn't a great start. It's a long season. You cannot put too much stock in these games. So that's like my shameless plug. If we lose to Louisville on Tuesday, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter right now.
No.
Games don't start, in my opinion, mattering until, January 15th.
Yeah.
Like you have like a month and a half of freedom just to find out what's going on.
I do enjoy the holiday tournaments like Maui, but I do agree with you. That doesn't really matter until you get into the heart of conference play.
Yeah, heart of conference play is where the cream starts to rise to the top, and how it's going in March. But and I hope they take that into consideration for like March, like these coaches and they're playing. Like, give me all the big teams playing each other. Like there's no. And it's happening. Kentucky has a loaded non-conference. We're playing everybody. We're playing North Carolina. We're playing, Gonzaga, Michigan State, St. John's. Just lost Alabama yesterday. So non-conference for Kentucky at least is loaded. And you obviously already had Kansas and North Carolina. Just play them. Like, I don't know if they need the committee to make an official statement. Like the committee just needs to agree. Like we're not going to be mad if you lose week 1 against like another blue blood program. Just play them because they need traction. But it's just unfortunate because it's hard for, casual people to transfer from football to basketball until, football season's over. But no, it's great to be back. It is weird, watching college basketball games when it's 85 degrees outside. But it's awesome. I love it. I love Kentucky basketball. I'm excited for March Madness, even though I won't get to watch it. So
now I'm frozen on the screen. Can you hear me, Braxton?
I can hear you loud and clear, but you are in fact frozen.
That's really funny. It looks like my camera went out. That's okay. We made it through most of the episode.
We're an hour and a half in, so
it's pretty. We didn't have to go to the technical difficulty screen, but this is just a very funny frozen picture of me.
This is fitting into episode 22.
So, but just as a final question, is the SEC being disrespected in the rankings right now? By my count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 SEC teams in the top 25 AP poll.
Basketball,
men's.
I think that's generous.
I think that's generous. Even after how many teams did they get in the tournament last year?
That was last year, Dan. We're talking about this year, though.
I know.
No, I think there's four. I think there's four good basketball teams in the SEC, and that's Florida, Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas.
Yeah, and those are
I
the
think
four that are in the top 15.
you can throw Auburn out. Stephen Pearl barely beat Bethune-Cookman. Stephen Pearl's not going to work at Auburn. And then the other one that people are going to talk about is Tennessee. This Tennessee team's not as good as last year, and Rick Barnes just signed that lifetime contract. I'm not scared of Tennessee and Rick Barnes. I wasn't when Cal was the coach. I'm not with Pope as the coach. I'm not scared. Tennessee beat us in the tournament last year. The first time they beat us all year last year in the tournament. And I don't think Tennessee's a good ball team. So I don't know who else they have in there, if it's Missouri or Texas A&M. But no, I think there's four legitimate top 25 teams, and that's Florida, Kentucky, Alabama, and Arkansas.
Yeah, those are the top 15. Do you want to do our preseason picks?
Yeah, I can do that. It's easy.
Who's it going to be?
It's going to be Kentucky. It's going to be Kentucky, and the Naismith College Basketball Player of the Year is going to be Otega Owe.
Okay.
What about you, Daniel?
This is going to be an unpopular pick from all our friends in Lexington. I'm going to go with the Johnnies. I think Rick Pitino is going to lead St. John's to the championship.
I think we're going to beat Rick Pitino by about 15 in Atlanta this year. Actually, I'm really scared about that game. I'm scared Pope's going to be like too caught up in the moment of coaching against his former coach. I don't hate that, dude. The thing about you're an idiot if you bet against Rick Pitino. Like, he's more likely to prove you wrong than right, if that makes sense, I guess, from a negative standpoint.
Yeah.
He can coach. They lost yesterday to Alabama. Like we said, it doesn't really matter. I don't know how his team walks to practice. Like, I feel like he just smokes the dog crap out of them every day. Yeah, and St. John's winning one, that'd be pretty poetic because you could only pray that would be like, hey, Rick, you just won one with St. John's. Like, please just retire and go be a.
Uh-oh. Go be a grandpa. All right, Braxton. Well, you cut out for a little bit there, but we got a good hour 30 episode. This has broken a record. Episode 22. This is definitely one for the hosts, Woody and Lew. So thank you to
we gotta be selfish sometimes.
Award-winning listeners. Oh, that was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Any closing thoughts, Braxton?
Loved catching up, Dan. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and follow.
Couldn't agree more. And happy Veterans Day to all of our current and former service members, especially to the Mad Hatter. Everyone, have a great week.